Stress management. This is the topic for today. Okay, so before I go ahead, I would like to ask you, I would like to know a little bit from you. What do you understand by stress? What do you mean? What do you think what it really is? Stress. Can someone speak a little bit on what is their understanding of stress? Oh, right now we are 23 participants. Okay. So maybe in the coming time, I was expecting more, but maybe some people more would join. Today is a working day. So probably a lot of them are busy working from home during COVID as well. So working from home during COVID, and this is something which is blessing in disguise, right? This has taught us a lot of things. During COVID, we evolved as a person, as an individual, but it was a crisis situation, right? So, okay, so we'll interact gradually. I would be glad if you guys interact more. Oh, so what is stress? Stress basically is a perceived threat. It's a perceived threat. It may not be the real threat. Okay, so it's a mechanism of our body. Body reacts to threat. Whether the threat is real or perceived, that's a different thing. Our body is evolved in such a way, our biological makeup is evolved in such a way that it perceives threat. Maybe thousands of years back, there used to be predators, right? So this defense mechanism was developed within ourselves so that we can fight the predator, or we can flee or freeze. So this was a defense mechanism, right? But right now, in today's time, in today's scenario, in the modern life, there are no such predators who are going to eat us away. But we perceive threat. We perceive threat whether we are working professional within the office environment. I mean, we see threat in situations, in people. So our body reacts. Our body, there are certain chemicals, adrenaline, cortisol, that gets released so that we are ready to, respond. We are ready to, fight back, but we don't need to fight. But the thing is that something that was built for our defense, something that was for our survival, something that was good for us, is something that is also causing trouble to us. Because stress is, if it remains for a prolonged period of time, or if it goes beyond certain, thing, it can really hamper, affect us in a bad way, right? Now, before I proceed, I want to tell you that I am not a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a medical professional. I am just a trainer and a coach, right? So what I'm going to share with you is based on my experience, my life experience, and also what I have heard from a lot of great speakers and other influential person, and something that I have imbibed and that I have implemented in my life, and something that has helped me. So this is it, right? Now, effects of stress. You all know that stress is something which is not at all good for us. It has a lot of effects on us. It can be mental effect, on our mental health, on our physical health. It affects every aspect of our life. It affects our relationships. Our productivity at our work goes down. Research says that our productivity at our work goes down when we are in stress. Whether we are into academics, we are student, or we are working professional, our productivity, efficiency will go down when we are stressed. Only when we are at ease, only when we are happy or relaxed, can we perform to our best. So that is the fact. Then also it affects all areas of our life, that is our career or growth, financial growth, peace and well-being, everything, right? So now this is imperative that we understand stress, and we really understand how to come out of it, so that we can lead a life which is worth, which is worth living, worth something that is inspiring for us also, right? Okay, so now see, everyone knows certain basic things, that is a yoga, exercises, meditation, all these things. So I'm not going to go too much into those things. I have kept it in the last, kept that thing in the last of the PPT because everyone knows it. Right now, I want to go into depth of stress because we may do a lot of things, but unless and until we go deep into it, we dive deep into it, we may not, come out of it. We may not overcome it completely. What happens is when we are in stress, usually what we do is we try to divert our mind. We try to distract ourselves from that. We sometimes try to escape the situation. Maybe sometimes we will try to do something to help us overcome this. Like sometimes we go for entertainment, sometimes we may watch movies, sometimes we may we may do a number of things to to divert our attention from stress. But the fact is that the reality is that unless and until we really face it, we really understand it, we'll not be able to come out of it. Everything that we do is just going to be a temporary quick fix, temporary thing. It will not heal us from within, right? Sure, I'll share the PPT. Okay. So this first slide is about self-awareness. Now let's understand what self-awareness really means. Self-awareness means being aware of our own self. Being aware of our own self means being aware of our own thoughts, our own feelings, our own emotions, our own behavior, our own actions, reaction, everything. Being aware of what is within us, our own beliefs, what is the effect of our own thoughts on our emotions, on our actions, on our behavior, and the results, of course. So everything is interrelated. What is within us is something that is going to reflect what we do, right? So self-awareness means being aware of our own self from within and being aware of the present moment without judging it, right? Without judging it. When we are aware of the present moment, without judging the moment, without resisting the present moment, we can really understand what's going on within us, right? We see what happens is that we do not live in the present moment. Let us say there is a COVID situation going on, right? We will be worried about future. We'll be fearful about what may happen, right? In the next moment, next day, right? In the future. And we always have some regret or guilt about the past. So that means we are living somewhere else. We are not living in the present moment. We are not experiencing the present moment fully. When we are not there in the present moment, we really can't relieve stress completely because we'll be continuously in worry and in stress and fear, right? So the key here is that to experience the things as they are, to experience situation as it is, without judgment, without resistance. Okay? See, you will understand gradually what I'm trying to say. Okay? So don't worry right now. It may be new for few people, but it is something which really works. What I mean to say is that when something is going on within, some emotions, some feelings, some stress is going on. Okay, don't try to suppress it. Don't try to escape. Some people, what they do is they just want to temporarily get rid of stress, and they will become addicted to something. Maybe they will get addicted to tea or coffee just to relieve themselves of stress, or maybe they'll have some other addictions like smoking, this, that. But the root cause remains. We are not up unless we uproot it. It remains. Okay, we may apply band-aid over the injury, but the infection remains. So unless and until we deal with the cause, the problem, it won't go away, right? So instead of suppressing or escaping, just face it, look at it, and go within and try to understand the causes of stress. Okay, try to understand the causes of stress. What I mean to say is that we need to all dive deep within and see if we have some limited perception about the things. We need to see if we have some limited, we have made some judgments, conclusions, assumptions, or we have some biases, prejudices. We need to find out what opinions we have, because sometimes what happens is that our perception and reality are different. Okay, so we need to look within and find out what is it that is kind of a roadblock or hindrance. So that's why self-awareness is important. That's why self-awareness is required, because what happens is that for example, let us take an example that we right now we are a manager and we want to become the head of department or the CEO, right, of an organization, for example, right? But our perception about ourselves is not correct. We already feel that we are competent, for example. We already feel that we are skillful, but unless and until we don't know the reality, things won't change. Or for example, our perception about ourselves is that we are not competent, we are not capable. Then again, that's a problem. That's a problem, because of what, it becomes a hindrance in our growth also. So the key here is that to look within and to try and do evaluation, introspection, and that analysis, and find out where we stand. Are we really aware of ourselves fully, completely? Are we really are we really, or is there any wrong perception, limited perception, misconception about the things? That's something we need to understand. That will happen with attention, with observation, with attention and observation of our inner self, our thoughts, of our reactions also, of our feelings, of our reactions also. Let's say we need to understand, someone said something, how do we react? How do we react? Is the reaction mindful, or is it just a knee-jerk reaction? We need to understand that. How do we react? Was this reaction required? So that's something that comes with self-realization. And also, we need to move beyond limited identities and the labels that we have created, right? When we have limited identities and labels, we kind of see ourselves separate from rest of the world. But the reality is that whether you talk about scientifically or spiritually, everything is one. We are all one. If we talk about scientifically, it's all one energy field. See, we are all dependent on each other. Without trees, we cannot survive. Without a lot of things, we cannot survive. We're all connected and dependent. But we have limited identities. We feel we are separate, right? That causes a big problem. We always say me, mera, me, my house, my car, my spouse, my this, my family, my this. So when we only think about me, myself, we kind of disconnect from the world. So unless and until there is compassion, unless and until there is empathy, only if we focus on our own self, if we are really very much self-centered, that brings stress. That brings stress. So if we shift our focus and become inclusive, include rest of existence into our experience. So that will be something which will relieve a lot of stress, right? And a lot of times what happens is, because of those limited identities and labels, we always compare and compete too much. If we have to compare, if we compare with our own self, where are we right now, where we want to be tomorrow, or after 6 months, or after 1 year, that's something which can help us. But if we compare with others, compete with others too much, if we keep comparing only, that's just going to bring stress in our lives. That's not going to solve any problem. Okay, we may say that competition is healthy, that's okay. But the thing is that if we compete with our own self, right, if we see where we are and where we want to go, that's something which is really going to be productive and helpful. Awareness of body language. See, I want to tell you something. Body language plays a very critical role. Let's say if for example your body posture is like that, if you are slouching or tilting, or your shoulders are slumped and your head is like, if you sit like this for few minutes, you will see that you emotionally you will start feeling low. You will spirits will go down, you will start feeling low. When your body's shoulders are upright, when your posture is right, correct posture, it gives you confidence, it makes you feel good, right? So body posture, body language, expressions, everything uh, plays a critical role. So that's also part of self awareness. We should be aware of our thoughts, emotions, feelings, actions, our body language, everything is critical. These small things do matter a lot. But what happens is that we are on autopilot mode. Sometimes we act automatically, we do not act consciously, we do not act mindfully. So because of what, we don't understand why we're stressed and why this happens to us, and how is it going to get relieved. Again, mindful reaction, as I said, situation may not, everything is not in, things are not in our control, everything is not in our control. How people behave is not in our control. What happens in the world is not in our control, but our reaction is in our control. How we react to situations, that is in our control. So if our reaction to situation is mindful, if our reaction to situation is conscious, then we can choose to react in a way that empowers us, that lifts us, that doesn't put us down. So reaction. So there may be crisis. Okay, COVID situation, obviously it was not in our control. COVID situation, or maybe a lot of people went through financial crisis during COVID. A lot of people went through a lot of things. Maybe some people lost their jobs, some people lost their jobs, and some people even lost their loved ones. A lot of things happened. There was crisis all over, but a lot of things were not in our hand. But what is in our hand is how we react to it, right? Whether we get depressed, or whether we take it as an opportunity to improve ourselves and learn from this, and move on, and build a better lives. That's what matters. Now assertive communication is something that is really important here. What I mean to say by assertive communication is that, for example, you are working in an office, right? Let's say you are working in a team. So at times what happens is that you need to express yourself, you need to express your opinion, your thoughts, your ideas clearly. You need to speak up, right? If you are subdued, submissive, always, that can bring stress, because everything will be piled up into your head. You will feel suppressed if you do not express yourself in an assertive way, not aggressive way. That's it. So assertive way, right? That's something that is required. We should know, I mean, when to speak, when not to speak, how much to speak, how much not to speak. But not speaking is not an option. We have to speak. Now speaking in an aggressive way is not an option. So we should know in a conscious way, in a mindful way, when to speak and when not to speak, how much to speak, how much not to speak, right? So that is assertiveness. Assertive communication means expressing ourselves without hurting other person. So that's something that is key, because what happens is with a lot of people, they do not express themselves, which creates a lot of stress, right? Okay, then compassion and empathy. I think I spoke about it a little bit earlier. So compassion and empathy builds a better world. Whether we are a student or working professional, or in a business, wherever we are, when we have compassion towards our team, when we have empathy towards our team, that means we care for others. When we care for others, that is something that is going to build a better culture. That is something which is certainly going to make the environment conducive for our growth and progress. Otherwise, if we always think, as I said, mera, me, so what happens is that everyone becomes self-centered, everyone thinks about themselves, and there is always politics, gossips, and people suppress each other. People think of themselves only, their growth only, their progress, their stuff, and there is never no end to it, and it just causes stress. Now I want to ask you a question, to all the participants out there. So in your life, are you busy collecting things? Are you busy collecting things or memories? आप लोग चीजें कलेक्ट करने में बिजी हैं या आप लोग मेमोरीज बनाने में बिजी है? I don't know if everyone will understand Hindi, but are you all busy in collecting things in your life, or are you busy in building? Are you making memories also in your lives? Yeah.
Doing both the things.
Sorry.
Doing both the things.
Okay, doing both the things. Okay, great.
Yeah.
See,
But most of the
anyone else want to say?
It depends, sir.
Sorry. Yes.
Sometime we go for the things and sometime for the memories also.
Okay. Okay, Keshav. Sometimes things, sometimes memories. Okay, fantastic. So,
but mostly the things. But memories are quite less.
Okay, okay. See, I want to tell you all here that it's great that we have we want to get a lot of things. Maybe we want to get a car, big car, our dream car, dream home. We want to get all the things. Materialistic pursuits are not wrong. The problem happens that when we feel that after getting those things, after achieving that, after acquiring that, that will give us peace, happiness. See, we all need things for survival, for growth, but we need to understand whether it is our need or want, right? Our need can be limited, but our want can be unlimited. Now, there is nothing wrong in wanting a lot of luxury, everything, but we should know that if we connect happiness with things, our happiness will be temporary always, because happiness is not outside somewhere. It is not out there. It is with us, within us. It comes from within, right? It comes from within. You may get all the things in life. You may achieve everything in life. One may become millionaire, billionaire, or get the costliest house, everything in life, but they may still be miserable from inside. Okay, that's the fact, right? So that does not mean we should not achieve. We should achieve, but with this awareness that we should not connect peace and happiness with objects. Okay, we should not connect it with things. All right. So because peace and happiness is within us, right? In fact, when we connect our peace and happiness with people also, sometimes what happens is that we get very easily hurt. Okay, we get easily hurt. Someone says something and we are hurt, right? So when our peace and happiness is our responsibility, right? No one can hurt us. So we should know that, right? Even we will have that ways, we'll have better relationships also. Anyone wants to say anything? Anyone wants to add anything? Okay, Ankit wants to say if there is no one to share things with, talk with, writing it. 1 second. I think I couldn't read it. Ankit, could you please speak it for me?
Hello.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. See, I just want to say that if there is no one to talk with, like there are certain aspects where one is unable to express him or herself, by the way of talks. If they write it down on a diary or say on a piece of paper, that also helps a lot. So like many times I have seen that, I advise my friends who are going through stress or something. I ask them to write. But they say that I don't know how to write and all these things, and I'm not good at writing and all. So it's just like that, whatever the feelings and thoughts, how rough it is, now you just write it down. So it will it's like the same like you are talking to someone. So basically,
that's
from
a
your head, it passes on to your hands, and from your hand, it passes on to a piece of paper. So if it is a
okay.
good thing, you keep it as a memory. If it is a bad thing, you just throw it away, you burn it, or you can do like that way to
Right.
overcome these things.
Absolutely, Ankit. I think that's a good one.
Mhm.
Really, it may help
Mhm.
certainly. So,
Yeah.
writing something down, I think it's venting out our feelings and emotions, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Particularly for the persons who are introvert, this helps them
Yeah,
a lot.
exactly. Yeah, sometimes people don't speak up there, share their feelings and thoughts with others. So,
Mhm.
yeah, for them, I believe yes, it could help. And I have seen some people paint a lot. In fact,
Mhm.
painting, writing, painting, it gives us a vent. It helps us
Yes.
to vent out our feelings, right?
Yes,
Emotions.
painting
Yeah.
is used for healing. I mean,
Yeah.
when I used to be, but that happens when the mind is cheerful. So, like painting and all this thing is a creative thing. So, when one is sad, now it becomes difficult to make a paint or
Okay.
sing or something. But this thing is a good thing. But once they are normal and then
Okay.
they do a
Painting.
painting, now it is a healing point.
Okay. Good, Ankit.
Mhm.
Great, fantastic. Anyone else wants to say anything? So it's great. I mean, we should explore our own ways. What helps us? This is fantastic, and we can share thoughts, exchange our thoughts, ideas, so that it can help others. So, like Ankit, anyone else wants to say anything? Yeah, if anyone else has any points, any interesting point to share, please you're most welcome. Please share your what has worked for you, right? Okay, so yeah,
Uh,
yes,
just one
Ankit, you
thing
want
I
to say?
want to, yeah, I want to add one thing. See,
Yeah.
there are in every city there is a civil hospital is there, right? Then there is a psychiatric department is also there. There
Okay.
you will find this counselor as well. So like if you find that there is no one to talk with or to manage the stress or something, you can just say that I want to do the counseling. So they will there will be a person who will listen to you, who can guide you
Okay.
for the things
Okay. Right.
so
Absolutely.
that is also there, and that is a free of cost. I mean, it is a
Okay.
government hospital, so that you
Okay.
can do instead of going to some persons for counseling or something. But one thing I say, like you mentioned,
Okay.
the self awareness is important, so that is a basic thing that one should be aware that he needs the attention. I mean, he requires some treatment, or something needs to be done. So that awareness should be there. That person should not be like carrying all the burden at all the time, and then he's left out without
Yeah.
any kind of help. So this thing can be done. I
Exactly.
mean, if he wants to I mean, just talk with that, because they have this professionals, they can identify whether you are going through stress, fatigue, or some kind of
Right.
these things. So
Absolutely.
that is also a good option if you
Yeah.
find a time.
Absolutely. So it's good to take advices, take suggestions, and consult whenever there is a need. So certainly,
Mhm.
no one should hesitate in that. We should always
Mhm.
take help from people or friends or whosoever it is. We should share with families and whatever when there is any such situation, right? So that's something which helps. In fact, sharing also helps a lot because that way is we feel relieved also. So that's great. Okay, fantastic. So let's move ahead. So count your blessings. This one point, it certainly means sometimes what happens is that we're all we are too much overwhelmed, right? We are too much overpowered by stress and all the things that's happening in the world, in our lives. I mean, we are too much stressed. Sometimes we forget that there are a lot of things in our life that we are blessed, we should be blessed about. Sometimes we forget to be grateful for those things. See, there may be a number of problems in life, but as long as we have food to eat, as long as we have shelter, we should be thankful. We should feel that we are blessed because there are millions who do not have food and shelter also. If we are educated, we should be blessed. There are millions who are not educated. I mean, a number of things. If you start counting your blessings, you will find a lot of things, right? So, in life, there are a lot of situations that are not going well, but there are a lot of situations that if you think, if you ponder over it, if you contemplate, you will see that a lot of things have been good for you. Only just it is just matter of thinking and realizing that, right? And next point I want to make here is that a lot of time what happens is that people have a lot of likes, dislikes about things. A lot of time we say this is interesting, this is boring. We have division in our minds, right? So we have conflicts in our minds, right? We have created a lot of conflict, lot of division in our mind. So we like certain things, we dislike certain things. We find something interesting, we find something boring. This way we will never have a stress-free life. I mean, if we realize that it's not the things that are interesting or boring, it's our perception about the things that matters, right? It's not something is when we do a task, right? Even if it is boring, but when we are fully immersed in it, if so-called, if in our perception it is boring, but when we are fully immersed in it, when we are fully involved and our attention is fully into the task at hand, right? So even that boring task, that perceived boring task can give us a lot of fulfillment, right? It can bring us to the state of awareness. It can bring us, there's a state of flow, our mind comes into a flow state, right? Where there is nothing boring or interesting. We should, if we divide our life like that this is interesting, this is boring, then we are not going to always get interesting things to do in life. That ways our life will always be boring. So don't divide, don't look at anything as interesting or boring, or this is my favorite, this is not my favorite, this person is my favorite, this person is not my favorite, this is good person. So don't look at like, okay, practically you have to look at certain things, but broadly do not categorize things like that, right? So be open to see things as they are. Be open to see things, new perspectives, new ideas from people. Okay, but what happens is that a lot of times we kind of make our opinions very quickly. We jump to conclusions very quickly, right? Which prevents us to experience a lot of things in life, right? Do you agree with me? Do you guys agree with me? Yeah, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, fully agree with you.
Okay, great. So no division, no conflict. So no division within and outside also. No division within. That means that if our core value is, let's say our core value is compassion, but our actions are not compassionate, then there is a conflict. Okay. So if our core values, thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions, everything is in sync, that's something which gives us a lot of fulfillment and contentment in life. That is authentic living, right? What is inside is outside. If there is honesty inside, obviously we'll act in an honest way. So we should know what are our core values, compassion or whatever is there. So our thoughts, our actions, reactions, everything should be in alignment with that. So there is no conflict and no division within and outside also, right? And accepting imperfections. Nothing is perfect, bro. Things are not perfect. Things are not in our control. People are not perfect, right? But what happens is that we always sometimes shift blame, point fingers, and we always complain or criticize about things, right? We should know that things are not perfect, and we can accept things and learn from it and move on, right? So it can help us relieve some stress. At least we can accept people's imperfections in the things. We are working somewhere in a company, or we are in a city, or we are wherever we are. If we always judge it, we will resist it. If we judge things too much, we will resist living in the present moment. With judgment comes resistance. When we resist, we will not be able to experience things, experience the present moment, right? So that's how it is. And always it matters that whether we are solution oriented or how we are, whether we blame or complain, or are we solution oriented. That something matters, because if we are always entangled in complaining, blaming and all these things, we will not find solutions. That's something which will not take us anywhere, right? Okay, so that's something that matters. And also setting realistic expectations. Sometimes our expectations from ourselves put a lot of pressure on us. It's not others' expectations. Sometimes we expect too much from ourselves, which puts a lot of pressure on us. Why to expect something that is not realistic? Let us expect something which motivates us, which challenges us, right? To move forward, not something that creates pressure on us, right? And a balance of life. Balance is critical, especially during COVID time. Work-life balance is something which is very important. In fact, balance in everything. If we are a working professional, we should take out time for our, exercise, or for relationships also, for other things also, leisure, whatever. So everything should be in balance. Otherwise, we may gain one thing and we may lose other things. In the sense, we may be too much into our career growth, and we do not give time to our physical health. Then we may reach very high in the ladder, in the career, corporate ladder or whatever. But what is the point if we lose our health, right? So why not create a balance? What is the point if we lose our relationships on the way to gain things? So it's not something that's not going to give us fulfillment and contentment. So what is going to give us fulfillment and contentment in life is when everything is in balance, right? So yeah, that helps. Okay, I think we discussed a little bit about it. Looking at the brighter side of the situations. So there are crises, but we always have an option to see the brighter side, because every crisis has an opportunity. As they say, every cloud has a silver lining. Every difficulty has some opportunity also, provided we look at it, right? If we see during COVID time, there were crises, but a lot of people also took it as an opportunity to improve themselves, for self-development, took it as an opportunity to spend more time with family, or to do certain things that they earlier couldn't do, like pursue certain hobby or interest or whatever. So to do certain things for their own progress and growth, other than their usual routine. So a lot of people took it as an opportunity, and it helped them, right? So yeah, positive attitude also means resilience. It also means this taking accountability, as we discussed earlier, rather than complaining, blaming or criticizing. If we take accountability for ourselves, so that is something which helps a lot. And finally, this is the last slide before we move to question answers. So healthy lifestyle is something which plays a very critical role in overcoming stress. Healthy lifestyle, physical activity, yoga, meditation, breathing exercises, good eating habits, connecting with nature. All of these things we are all aware. But what happens is that we make commitment to ourselves. Sometimes we are not consistent, right? Sometimes we want to do, but we do not do. We kind of give up. We are not persistent sometimes. We are not consistent sometimes. So we plan things, but we sometimes do not execute things. That's something which we need to look into. That is something which matters a lot. How we execute, whether we execute things, what we thought of, right? So that's something which matters. We have to motivate ourselves. We have to be self-motivated to get up and do things. If we have to make it a commitment to ourselves to do exercise every morning, so we have to do it. We must do it. If I have to get up at 5 a.m., we must get up. Otherwise, things won't change, right? Things won't change. We think a lot, but sometimes if we don't execute, things won't change. Things will remain where they are, right? So thinking always doesn't help. Planning doesn't help always. Unless we execute it, unless we implement it, take action, it won't help us, right? And connecting with nature is something that helps a lot. So at least, long back when I was in stress, So I used to do all these things which I have mentioned in this slide. I used to do all these things, and these things helped me a lot. Connecting with nature means, sitting. Have you ever sat and observed nature? Have you ever sat and observed, other than you are keeping your smartphone and all these gadgets aside? Have you ever sat and observed nature? Observed, sunrise, sunset? Have you ever observed stars? Have you ever walked barefoot on the grass or ground? Have you ever, have you walked in the rains? Have you felt the rain, the nature, right? So, so that's how connecting with nature, heals. It's healing. It's healing. So yeah, I mean, this is something which matters a lot. So I think what we covered today is the first slide was self-awareness, that is living in the present moment without resistance. I'll quickly give few points. Living in the present moment without resistance, without judgment of the present moment, experiencing the present moment as it is, right? Rather than suppressing or escaping it or judging it, or making our opinions, conclusions, judgments, or moving beyond our perception, right? That's self-awareness. And diving deep and identifying our own limited perceptions, our ideas, our beliefs, whether those beliefs are helping us or they are counter productive. We need to know, because some beliefs about our own selves may be putting us down. We should know that. Sometimes we may believe that we are not capable of something, but that's a belief. That may not be true. That's a perception, right? We may think that we maybe based on some experience. For example, we have to learn swimming, but once we tried, we failed. 5 times we tried, we couldn't swim. But that made a belief up in our mind about swimming, that we created a perception that we are not good at it. But it was just that we tried 5 times. Maybe had we tried 20 times, 30 times, 50 times, we could have done it. Whether it is swimming or playing a musical instrument, cycling, and number of things. Some experiences, because of some experiences, we make a perception. We make our fixed mindset. So we conclude things, but those conclusions are not always right. So we should know that, is it conclusion based on our experience, or is it reality, or it is just a perception, right? So unless and until if we have to learn swimming, unless and until we take a plunge into the water and try it multiple times, we won't learn swimming. Just making our assumptions or conclusions based on one attempt is something wrong. Or based on making our conclusions based on what others said. Others said you can't swim. So that was their perception. That is not true. Others said you can't be a public speaker, for example. But that was their perception. That is not true, right? So we should not believe in everything that others tell us. Even we should question our own assumptions, our own beliefs about our own self. Maybe we had a humiliating experience on stage. That does not mean we cannot be a good public speaker. That was an experience, but that experience made us believe something, right? So we should question our beliefs, our assumptions, our perceptions, right, about self. We should move beyond those identities and labels which people put on us, or which we put on ourselves. We put on identity on ourselves that we are not good, we are introvert. We should move out of those identities. People put a label on us that we are introvert, okay, or we are not good at something, whatever, we are dumb or whatever. So that is something label. That is not true. Okay, we have to move beyond that, and we have to stop comparing and competing. We should be aware of our body language, whether body language is empowering or putting us down. Body language matters a lot. Just have a good posture always. A good expression, smiling face will help you, right? And our reaction should always be mindful. It should not be knee-jerk reaction. We should know how to react. What others do is not in our control, but how we react is in our control, right? Assertive communication always helps. Not submissive, not aggressive, but assertive. Compassion and empathy is required in today's time. Always do things. If we do things for others, we will, stress will vanish. If we live for others also, stress will vanish. This self-centeredness creates a lot of stress. Okay, are we collecting things or memories? We have to collect. things is okay, but we should collect more memories. Okay, and we should know that we are collecting things. We need it, but our happiness should not be dependent on external objects or people. It should be within us. It should depend on us. We should count our blessings. We should move beyond likes and dislikes, interesting, boring. Right? It's all our perception. Whether it's interesting, boring, right or wrong, everything is in our perception only. We should question our perception and move beyond that. There should be no division within and outside. We should be authentic. What is our values? We should live by our values, right? We should act according to our values. That will give us a lot of contentment and fulfillment, right? Then we should accept imperfections in the world and people around. No one is perfect. No point in always, being in a criticizing mode. We should be solution oriented, not problem oriented. We should set realistic expectations for ourselves. It should be realistic and not something that puts us pressure on us. Balance in life is always required. Balance in everything, right? Relationships, health, finance, career, everything should be in balance, right? We should look at the brighter side of situation. Every cloud has a silver lining. Then finally, we said that healthy lifestyle, physical activity, yoga, meditation, whatever resonates with the person. Some people do swimming, some people do trekking, some people cycling, whatever you like to do, but please do it. Please move out of thinking pattern and just thinking doesn't help us. So move out of that and go ahead and start doing things. So thank you very much. I'm done from my side.